Hello again and welcome back. Okay, so as I promised, here's my review of Castle Grayskull, the Masters of the Universe Classics one. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick overview. Now, before I do, I'm not going to do everything. I'm sure everybody's seen all the features, what it does, and, you know, what's cool about it, what's different about it. But for me, I'm just going to talk about what I did with mine, and maybe review some other things and tell people about them. So, as we're moving through, you know, I'm just going to start with the throne. I like the throne. I do, but there's a problem I have with it, and that's I want to put my Skeletor in there, and any other figure, it's kind of hard to sit him in there. It doesn't sit exactly right, and when I tried to put my Skeletor in there, like, as you can see, like, his loincloth ripped just a bit. I don't really care, because this is the one I pose, and I'm expecting him to take a little bit of a beating because of all the maneuvering and all the handling I do with him. There's that very minor gripe, but because like he does look like he's slouching in it, like he's kind of like bored, which I like from the new comics, the ones where they lost their memories. Like Skeletor's still trying to figure out the secrets of Grayskull, but he can't, and he's getting more and more angry about it, and like it's I like what they started out with there, but I digress. Back to the thing. Also with the space jockey, I call him the space jockey, and that's what he'll always be. He had this gun in there before, but it was like right next to him, and seeing as like the hands actually hold weapons, I was like, yeah, let's put it in there. That's perfect, because the weapons rack here was getting kind of full with all the extra ones. I'm actually missing a pistol. It probably just fell on the ground. I'll find it. I had to have the weapons rack with it. Grayskull just didn't seem complete without it. And I don't really blame Maddie for not including it, because they had already made it. And, I mean, like, way before they even thought about doing this whole castle, like, the whole castle was just like, hey, probably a bunch of guys sitting around the office like, I wonder one day if we'll ever do it. Well, you know, so I picked it up, and I think it just completes it. I added all the weapons, but I only use, like I said, I only use one side because it's here for display. Yeah, if you'll notice right below it, I got a couple of custom parts for it too. I did not want to put a Wind Raider in here. It just blocks the view. I didn't want to put Sky High in there because it just blocks the view. It looks tacky. I don't know what they were thinking. So thank God that Bad Vermin, and I've seen all sorts of stuff coming out to replace this hole. He came out with this, and you'll find him on He-Man.org. I don't have his email. I'm sorry. His name is Bad Vermin. So he's selling a lot of them, though, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. It really completes the look, and I love it. Instead of this big gaping hole, people are calling it the Abyss. So it's really nice quality, too. It's a resin kind of dealy deal. And the other side looks like a wood cover, but I like the Iron Cross better because it just suited the thing, the castle much better. And so next, I just put a few more weapons in the holsters. I need another shield, but I made a deal for a Skeletor head to get Wondar swords, specifically for this because I kind of wanted to make it I like Wondar, so I wanted something for him to go in there, and I put Grayskull Man's shield because it looks good. You know what? Actually, I'll talk about these. The stickers. Everything comes with the stickers already on. Like, there's no placing of anything. Like, this thing, the dungeon, it's in there. You'd have to take apart the floors, and I mean, if you wanted to, you could. But, it's like all the stickers are there, so I'm sure Maddie did that so people weren't tearing them and asking for new ones and clogging up customer service. And I did. I added my Grayskull grate, and I know it kind of hides it a bit. Like, I think they should have put another window here just for the sake of having a window. Just put some bars on it. And because I wanted to see, I saw when it first came out, it had a 3D dungeon grate and it had all been done new. But they didn't include it. This one actually fits, except you just have to pull off that 3-fingered hand and slip it in, and then you put it in there. It's a little bit of a trick, but it's not too hard. I got it in there. And I'm really glad I picked this up from Working Class Villains, and you can find this thing on Etsy, and I talk about it in my other video, Motu figures you've never seen in the coolest Grayskull ever. Just look at it there, and then you can get a really good look. Let's see what else here. I don't have any other customizable parts, really. The only thing I'm missing is a She-Ra sword, because I want to finish that off. And her sword is gold. So I got this one with that big DVD set, so it had to go in there because I had no other figure to put it on. And of course, Skeletor's the only one who rules Castle Grayskull in my world, because when I was a little kid, I thought it was his castle, so it is his castle. And I put Grayskull Man up there, but I gave him a purple cape, kind of, just because I had him on Skeletor, and I didn't know anybody else to put him on. But I think it kind of gives it kind of a bit of a cool look there. And that's that. So another thing I want to talk about is just the weird stuff I find out about it, and things I just don't know why they did it. The gold skull's awesome, but I don't know why they didn't color the poles gold too. I mean, give the elevator a little bit more of a, I don't know why they didn't color that. If they're willing to do, a few more things on this, like why didn't they give this some color and some electronic parts? And I mean, it looks almost identical. I think it is identical to the original one. I mean, like, it's pretty much the same thing. The ladder I like. The ladder looks good. It's not just a straight gray. Like, it looks like there's ropes tied around it. It's got a nice black wash on it. That's a really cool thing. Another thing, I thought, I know I've seen pictures, but I thought the trapdoor was a little bigger. But it's big enough to have a guy fall through. But I remember it being like a long carpet on the original, and I think they could have gone with that still. But, that's them. They made what they did, and I think it looks great. But another thing I found really weird was that, and this is probably just me, and that's okay, because that's just what it is. This thing sits in there just fine, but it sits on an angle. I just thought it was weird. I thought it was sitting straight on, and I tried to rest it up on these two posts here, but it doesn't sit right. So whatever, it sits there nicely. It's flat. That's all I can really ask for. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for the issues and the whole subject of the new Grayskull. Now it's still up for sale. I thought it was going to sell out, but $300 is a humongous price tag. I got mine at first pre-order. Like, I did it on a prayer, or I mean on a promise, and I got the map and everything. That went fine. Everything went fine through just fine for me. I didn't have any canceled orders, and I didn't have a credit card that wasn't working. Everything went just fine, and I got mine, and it arrived on my doorstep, and it was a huge box. Like, I mean, it's a big box. It's a big play set too. So a lot of people are wondering, like, should I buy one? A guy I know, actually, he's trying to raise a fund to get one of these, because, like, it's a big price tag. I think he's drawing pictures of, like, pretty much, he's actually quite talented. He's drawing pictures to, get some money together and, maybe get one of these. I'm just going to go around the castle. I'm actually going to take this idea here. I want to take these eyes of Grayskull, not those ones in particular, but I think I'm going to add a set, just because I love that look, and just to make it my own personal thing. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it, because I don't want to damage the paint, and I just don't want to wreck it. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to put them in there and be able to take them out without leaving any damage. So that's that. So is it worth it? Not at $300. No, sir. I don't think. I mean, unless the toy does something. I mean, like, there's no batteries or anything. Like, this thing doesn't have anything that, like, nothing electronic, which I'm actually kind of surprised, but not at the same time. Nothing's electronic for Matty Collector. I don't see anything battery powered anyway. So it's not worth $300 for sure. And then you're shipping, like, wherever you're going. But I bought it on the pre-order because I wanted it. And I knew I wasn't going to get it any cheaper than when they first announced it and they first put it out. So if you want to get one, like, good for you. It's a wicked cool, it's a cool play set, and I hope to God, honestly, that they don't do Snake Mountain, because I don't know it probably won't sell. I don't know if it will, because this thing takes up a lot of space as it is. So I've been rambling a little bit, and just thanks for coming back and taking a look at the Castle Grayskull from my point of view. And you know, if you see something you like, you know, if you just do it to your Grayskull and stuff, because I know a few people got one. They've been posting them all over Facebook, that's for sure. All my buddies got one. So okay guys, that's it. That's all. That's my Grayskull review. So we'll see you real soon. And everybody, thank you again, subscribers. I don't thank everybody every video, but believe me, I do. I thank you all. So take care.